Have you gotten a COVID-19 vaccine? I have. Did you know that we are supposed to be zombies now? I had no idea. Apparently, I am a zombie and I just don't know it yet. I mean, I guess that kind of explains why I woke up this morning and had a craving for brains. Want to show you guys something here. Let's turn on the window. This is from a guy called the Patriot Voice on Telegram, who has 50,000 subscribers. Is there a zombie apocalypse activated by 5G towers on the way? It is seriously hard for me to parse together words to describe just how diabolical, in caps, this potential situation would be. According to Todd Callender, a military attorney that works with thousands of whistleblowers. Todd Callender? What the fuck kind of name is that? Like, that sounds like a Batman villain, isn't it? It's like, I am Todd Callender. Like, I don't know. According to Todd Callender, military attorney that works with thousands of whistleblowers, COVID shots that most everyone was forced to take contained a lipid nanoparticles, sealed pathogen like E. coli, Marburg, and Ebola, causing an epidemic. In all caps. When an 18 gigahertz 5G frequency is pulsed for a minute, 3 different times, that will make nanoparticles to swell. Make nanoparticles to something. Doesn't this kind of sound like an AI wrote it? Make the nanoparticles to swell, asshole. Check your goddamn grammar. Anyway. That will make the nanoparticles to swell, causing different pathogens to be released. In caps. This is the most horrifying thing I have ever heard. CDC has in fact had zombie preparedness info out since 2011. Jesus Christ. Okay, let me finish reading before I comment. I am not saying this 100% going to take place, but I want to make everyone aware that there is a concerted plan, is in caps. Todd has been very consistent, very all in caps. FEMA plans on doing a test of the ESB on October 4th or 11 at 2:22 p.m. I would turn off all 5G devices. Trust God, don't fear, and be prepared. Okay, so first off, I hope you guys understand that no, there are no such things as nanoparticle sealed pathogens like E. coli. No, that is not a thing, right? The COVID-19 vaccine does not have sealed hidden pathogens that you can release with a 5G signal. Secondly, that is not a thing either. You can't. No. There's no such thing as having a virus inside of a sealed particle, whatever that means, and then putting a radio frequency at it which somehow bursts the particle and releases the pathogen. No, that's science fiction. Shit like that doesn't exist. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, it is not. No. There's this idiot conspiracy theory, anti-vax bullshit is what this is. We all heard it all through 2020 and 2021, how they were talking about how there were, microchips inside of the fucking vaccines and all this other crap, and how it was like, they were putting magnets in them, like they were making spoons stick to you and all this, and how we were supposed to die like 5 times over, by the way. Like, oh, it was all gonna kill you or whatever. And this shit never fucking happened. And sure enough, when they did the emergency broadcast test thing the other day, nobody turned into a goddamn zombie. Right? Like, it's just complete and total horseshit of the highest order. You have absolutely nothing to fucking worry about. Apparently, the Patriot Voice is still skeptical. Here's a follow-up sort of tweet. I guess, what do you call it when it's on Telegram? Do you call it a gram? I don't know what's up with that. You can turn off the emergency alerts setting on your phone to put it in a Faraday bag for an hour or so if you're concerned about it. Also, make sure to unplug your smart TVs, any devices that use a 5G connection, if you are concerned, that is. Well, I don't know why you would need to, but whatever, okay. Then it actually happened. We can turn that off. And here he follows up. Welp, I got the FEMA emergency alert despite turning them off, and I got it a few minutes early, in all caps. The fact is that I received the alert despite having emergency alerts turned off is very disconcerting. Suffice to say I'm alive and well. Status report. Here's your fucking status report, you idiot. Nobody turned into a goddamn zombie. That is the dumbest fucking shit ever. I mean, it's now the 5th the next day. And please keep in mind that over something like 2 billion vaccine shots have been distributed throughout the entire world. Like even more. How many? You know, let me just look that up real quick, just to be sure. Right. Let's see. How many COVID vaccine shots worldwide? Okay, what percentage of the world is vaccinated for COVID? About 72.3% of the world population has received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. So if there's 7 billion people on Earth, what's 70% of 7 billion? What is that? Roughly 5 billion people? 5.5 billion people? Roughly. So shouldn't we have 5.5 billion zombies running around? I mean, first off, why would it only be in the United States where they would send out the signal to turn everyone into a zombie? Wouldn't they do it around the entire world? So shouldn't all of the governments across the entire world be sending out a 5G signal? I don't know why it's just the United States, I guess, right? I don't know what's up with that. Secondly, even if it was just the United States, let's assume 70% of the United States. So what is that? 330 million people? Like, we got, 400 million people in the United States. So roughly, 75%. Let's say 300 million. There should be 300 million zombies running around right now. Well, last I checked, there are 0 zombies outside. So, not sure what the fuck is going on with that shit. So here's another thing that I saw. Some people actually took this. Oh, wow. That's fucked up. I was going to show you guys something and it got removed. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. But basically, I was going to show you this thing until they took it down. That it was this one tenant who said that his landlord was going to shut off all the power to his house for a few hours when they were going to do this test of the emergency broadcast system. And it was because he was afraid. We can go ahead and turn this off for now. He was afraid that the test was going to cause everybody's appliances to explode. Which is like, where did that fucking come from exactly? Like, how would a test in your cell phone make your TV or like your computer explode? Like, somebody please explain to me how that happens. I don't know why. One other thing I want to show you guys. I guess I turned it off a little too early. Here's another one I saw. This is actually from Reddit. So just to kind of remember how this conspiracy theory shit is a religion. One thing that happens when you try to debunk people from their religions is that they double down on it. And I want to read this to you guys because this is a perfect example of somebody doubling down when evidence is staring them right in the face. So this is on Reddit. So already people are coming on here laughing and talking about how they survived and didn't turn into a zombie. First of all, you don't know who was affected, and I'm already seeing comments of people feeling really dizzy when it went off, and also a few plane crashes today. Again, it's too soon to know. First off, there were no fucking plane crashes yesterday. Alright, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. A few plane crashes? Like, a plane crash is like a big fucking deal. Like, just one plane crashes, and it's like national news. So if there were 3 or 4 of them, that would be all over the goddamn news, wouldn't it? Anyway, it's a slow poison and a slow programming. We took several precautions of storing our phones and devices properly so the alert would not come on even when we powered them back on, and it didn't. Mission accomplished. Don't be too quick to assume everything is hunky-dory. If nothing else, you can bet they're planning this for what is to come. And if you understand how frequency signals work and how they can be negative or positive, then you know what can happen. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. They can send it without telling us in advance, absolutely, which is why you always have to do things in your home and around you that combat bad frequency. I have studied frequencies. No, this person has not studied frequencies. Put your thinking cap on, research, be in the know, and never trust this corrupt government. The alphabet agencies are corrupt. There's a reason they turned the ESB over to FEMA. Stay alert and follow truth sources and not MSN, mainstream media. Yeah, they turned the emergency frequency over to FEMA because FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Association. Like, that's what they do. FEMA manages emergencies. You know, so what this is, right, because this is a thing, like, you'll notice here where this guy said, oh, I got it even though I turned it off and all that other crap. You can't turn it off. You can't turn this off. Okay, you can turn off notifications on your phone. You can't turn off this emergency notification because it's there in case there's an emergency. Well, what does that mean? That means if there's a tornado, if there's a flood, there's an earthquake, there's a fire, whatever, then they notify you through your phone, hey, your area, be prepared for this emergency, whatever, you need to evacuate. That's what it's there for. It's there because it can save lives, especially when it comes to things like, say, you know, sometimes disasters, you can't escape them. You know, an earthquake, you can't run away from an earthquake, right? Tornado or something, yes, there's a tornado heading your way. Get the hell out of there. There's a wildfire heading your way. Time for you to evacuate, stuff like that. I have experience with that shit. I had to, in 2018, I had to fucking evacuate. Fucking Woosley fire and shit almost destroyed my house. That shit was scary as fuck, right? And because we are now dealing with the ramifications of global climate change, which is out of fucking control, there are more and more disasters like this almost on a weekly, if not even daily basis now. Everywhere in the country is now vulnerable to these wildfires, to floods, to tornadoes, right? To hurricanes. 2, 3, 4 hurricanes a goddamn year now. You know, there used to just be one, if even that. And usually they wouldn't be that big. And then when you would get one that was really big, like Hurricane Katrina or something. You guys remember Katrina, right? It was a major fucking deal. Now we have a Hurricane Katrina like every other year. I mean, there was a hurricane that hit California, for fuck's sake. There's not supposed to be hurricanes in California. That's not a thing that happens here, but I guess it's a thing that happens now. Right now in New York, there's so much rain that it's flooding parts of New York. Floods in fucking New York. For crying out loud. I think it's like the Bronx right now is underwater. And that doesn't change the fact that just a few miles away, there are still giant raging wildfires in fucking Canada where like all of the smoke is still coming over New York City. So it's like it's raining and flooding and shit. And when it's not flooding, fucking everything's burning down. This is the new normal now. It's the new normal because we ignored climate change. Because conservatives are too fucking greedy to do something about climate change because it'll cut into their profits for their fucking criminal friends. So now we all have to deal with the consequences. Well, the government knows that shit is going to get fucked up, so they have to provide for this kind of thing. That's why actually, you know, one of the concessions we got for the government shutdown was more money for disasters, because there are disasters now everywhere in the country almost all the time. This is why FEMA is testing the fucking emergency broadcast system, because there's going to be emergencies. There will be emergencies. There are emergencies going on right now. There will be more, because this is the world we fucking live in. This is the price of every single person having their own personal automobile and burning fossil fuels like there's no tomorrow, and the refusal of our country to take global climate change seriously. We could have done something about it 20, 30 years ago. We knew that this was going to be a problem then, and everybody, you know, all the conservatives and the Republicans, they all laughed at it. Oh, this is, you know, the sky is falling, whatever. You're like Chicken Little. I remember it well. People like fucking Rush Limbaugh and shit would get up on TV and say that it was all bullshit and it's all man-made and it's all a conspiracy by the Democrats in order to raise your taxes. You notice they still try to say that shit and it falls flat now. It's like, oh, it's all, you'll see somebody like Charlie Kirk or whatever get up and like, climate change is all a hoax, blah, blah, blah. It's a liberal hoax, whatever. It's like, yeah, as like we have another wildfire that destroys an entire fucking city. Do you know penguins are now endangered because of all of the ice in the Arctic? Basically fucking huge pieces of the Arctic ice just collapsed. And I think, all right, was this? No, it was Antarctica. Excuse me, in Antarctica, right? The ice shelf that's around Antarctica, like huge pieces of the ice collapsed and basically wiped out like 5 colonies of emperor penguins. And it looks like, because what it is that they go and they lay their eggs there, and they raise their chicks, right? And the chicks kind of like spend the first couple of weeks on the ice. And all of the ice fucking melted, and all of the eggs, and there were like eggs and still young, very, very young chicks who can't swim yet, all fucking drowned. Something like 5 colonies of emperor penguins are like gone now. So now those are they're an endangered species now. They weren't before this. They were like kind of on the verge, and now they're an endangered species, right? That's what's fucking going on here. Just the other day, the Amazon rainforest, the Amazon River reached 100 degrees, and something like about 100 pink bottlenose dolphins like died. These were endangered as well. So this shit has it's fucking real. It has ramifications, and we're having to deal with them. So get ready for that kind of thing. Get ready for more stories of that caliber, of animals going extinct. I mean, shit, are polar bears extinct yet? They will be soon. Do you have children, folks? Do you want your child to see an actual real polar bear one day, or an actual penguin one day, or an actual dolphin one day? Do you want them to actually be able to see these things without having to go on, like, the History Channel and be like, oh, these are animals that once roamed the earth? Like, though, it's going to be like dinosaurs. Oh, wow, those things used to be alive. Can you just imagine what it was like to see a penguin in real life? This is what's going on, folks, because of conservatives, because of Republicans, because they believe in idiot fucking conspiracy theories about the dumbest fucking shit ever. I don't know. I kind of hope we all turned into zombies. Let's do it. What are we waiting for? You know what? I am now in support of the government injecting people with a hidden serum that will be turned on by 5G towers and turn everybody into fucking zombies. Because then, once everybody turns into goddamn zombies, then we can get the fucking environment. We can actually clean that shit up. So I don't know. I say let's fucking do it. And the other last thing I want to say before we end this for tonight is it just really blows me away how quickly these conspiracy theories develop. When did we hear about this test for the emergency broadcast system or whatever? I didn't even know that this thing was going to happen at all. It took me completely by surprise. And I can't imagine that when did they tell people they were going to do it? Like, what, a week ago? Something like that. And it really kind of gets me, like, how quickly the conspiracy theorists adapt to current events. And it's just sort of like, that's the thing about this. It's like these people, they must seriously not have any lives at all. Like, and that's another thing you'll notice. Like, if you go on this guy, Patriot Voice, if you go on his Telegram channel, the dude posts like 17 times a day. And you see that a lot with conspiracy theorists. It's like these people are just like perpetually online. Like, they're really sad. They're always complaining about how their friends and their family don't take them seriously, and how their like children don't want to hang out with them anymore because they're like kind of gone crazy with all the stupid fucking conspiracy theories. And it's really just, it's sad almost. It's almost like, man, you're watching like the effects of loneliness coupled with psychosis. But I don't know. And this is why it's damaging. Like, this belief in this shit, when people actually take this shit seriously, it can be really, really, really damaging. It can be as damaging as somebody joining a cult. Because that's kind of what this conspiracy theory shit is. It's really a cult. It's like a religion now. It's all based on idiotic beliefs and belief in the supernatural and miracles. Like, kind of the same fucking thing, except instead of like angels and demons, now they're believing in like hidden cabals of Jewish reptilian overlords and stuff, and their nefarious plans to kill everyone that just never actually seem to happen. Just never seems to happen. And even when it doesn't happen, they have to come up with excuses about how it might happen, in order to keep their faith going. And that's what religious people do when you give them evidence that their faith is bullshit, is that they double down on it. Just like that lady did with the tweet that I just showed you, the thing from Reddit, just like the lady said, oh, well, I've already seen people with plane crashes and they have headaches, and just making that shit up. That's 100% made up bullshit. It's all ridiculous. It's all wacky. Everybody's insane, folks. Anyway, I am looking forward to turning into a zombie tomorrow, and if you see me out there wandering around really slowly trying to eat people's brains, it's because I got vaccinated. Hello folks, if you like what I do and you want to support the channel, please consider buying something from my Etsy shop, supporting me on Patreon, liking and subscribing, and checking me out across my social media links listed below. Thank you all so much, and see you next time.